Now available for the first time on Google Play, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are falling apart in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy on Google Play today. A 42-year-old man is alleged to have participated in the attempted murder of a missing 9-year-old girl who was found naked in his basement. Now, according to reports, your James Bryan Chadwell II is accused of trying to lure this 9-year-old girl into his basement by offering her an opportunity to pet one of his dogs. And after he got the girl to come to his home to play with his dogs, he then went and attacked the girl, sexually assaulted her, and then attempted to kill her. Now, according to police reports, this isn't the only incident that James Bryan Chadwell II is being alleged to have participated in. They are looking into the unsolved murders of other Delphi teens, such as Abigail Williams and Libby German, who lost their lives, and they still can't figure out what happened to them that led to them winding up dead. Now, when I look at this whole incident with your James Bryan Chadwell II, it fits the pattern and profile I talk about regarding beta males in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that if your James Bryan Chadwell II did participate in the behaviors he participated in, he clearly is one of these beta males who fits the pattern and profile I talk about regarding the behavior of the beta male in my chapter, The Sexual Deviancy of the Beta Male. Because oftentimes when you have these beta males, they go out here and participate in this deviant sexual behavior because many of these men, they are extremely dysfunctional and they don't know how to express themselves in a healthy sexual fashion. So they go out here looking to participate in sexual deviancy in order to sate their power issues. And from what I read in your James Bryan Chadwell II's background, he clearly had some serious issues as related to power, as related to the dysfunctional family he was raised in. Now, your James Bryan Chadwell II was the illegitimate son of a single mother, a woman who wound up marrying another man a year later, and that man wound up giving that baby his last name. But as this dysfunctional family came together and the boy was raised in that home with another brother, at an early age he was trying to kill his brother by the stepfather. And the stepfather and the brother of James Bryan Chadwell II clearly stated that this boy was capable of really extreme violence, even at an early age, and all throughout his life he had been in and out of prison, which is par for the course when it comes down to beta males who are raised in very dysfunctional households, because many of these men have serious issues because of the dysfunctional families they are a part of, and they bring that dysfunction outside into the real world. But your James Bryan Chadwell seems to have escalated his very, very sick and depraved behavior because he was starting to enter from a pattern of criminal behavior into a pattern of sexual deviancy. And it looks like he was possibly participating in not only sexual deviancy by molesting this 9-year-old girl, but if these cases are connected as related to the murders of Abigail Williams and Libby German, it's looking like this beta male was participating in some possible serial killing. Now, when it comes to these beta males, the reason why they go out here and participate in this sexual deviancy, again, has to do with their power issues, and they look to use their penis as a weapon to do harm to others. Because many of these men, they want to go out here and harm other people, and this is what looks like your James Bryan Chadwell II was looking to do. He was looking to harm the most vulnerable person, this 9-year-old girl because she could not fight him back, and that's mainly why these deviants participate in their extremely sick and depraved behavior, because they are looking to go out here and break another person down. They are looking to destroy another person's life, and this is the type of thing that they get pleasure from in the place known as the secret world. Because many of these beta males, they love to go to the secret world because they feel it's a safe place where they can express themselves and a safe place where they can participate in many of their sick and depraved behaviors, because they know that they cannot participate in those behaviors in the real world. And your James Bryan Chadwell II clearly was escalating his behavior if these reports are true. And thankfully, people were able to stop this man before he was able to go out here and do more harm to more children. And thankfully, he is in the jail right now. And as he has been in jail right now, he's been gotten a hold to by another inmate who practically beat him up. And I see him, if he is convicted of these crimes, getting more beatings by your Bubbas and your Tinies, and possibly getting that tight end of his turned into a wide receiver by many of those men, because many of the men in prison have little respect or little regard for your pedophiles and your sexual deviants in the prison system. And this man was one of the most depraved individuals, because again, to go after a 9-year-old girl, it just shows how absolutely sick this man is, and it just shows how just disturbed he is. And it also shows how many of these guys, again, try to hide their evidence of their deviant behaviors, because that's one of the reasons why he tried to murder this young 9-year-old girl, because after he participated in his act of deviancy, what he wanted to do was take this girl's life so that nobody could ever hear about what he did, and be able to let anybody else know about the reprehensible and absolutely sick behaviors he's participated in, because he wants to, again, make this all about the secret world. And that's the place where your beta male goes to participate in his acts of sexual deviancy, because he feels it's a safe space where he can go out here and express himself sexually. So he'll go to that place and believe that he can do these things. But many of these acts are just so sick and twisted that nobody would ever want anything to do with this man. And even his own family knew how sick this man was, because they said that eventually he was going to do something like this. And that's the scary part about these beta males. Many people, even in the family, know how sick many of these men are, but they really can't do anything until they actually do something out here. And that's what makes these men extremely dangerous to be around, and that's what makes them extremely dangerous to have them around people like your children, because these kind of guys, nobody knows what they're capable of doing. And many of these men, they are just so, again, twisted that it's not a matter of if they're going to do something, it's a matter of when. And like the stepfather and the brother were saying, they knew that something was going to happen, and they knew this guy was capable of doing things because they had been dealing with this guy for years, and it was just not a matter of time. And the scary part is that sadly it took what happened to possibly those 2 teenage girls and this 9-year-old girl for people to see this ticking time bomb and become aware of how explosive and destructive he was to other people's lives. So this guy was a textbook beta male. Like I talk about my book, The Man Crisis, and this type of beta male goes out and he does harm to others. And when he goes out here and does harm to others, he does damage to people's lives all across the country. And that's what makes many of these sexually deviant beta males an extreme danger, because these guys, oftentimes, they're very glib, they're very charming, and they can go out here and appeal to people. And what that makes them dangerous is they will go out here and lure weak children like this 9-year-old girl who knew no better and take advantage of her. And that's why we have to be vigilant against beta male sexual predators like this and try to protect people from them. But when it comes down to these types of beta males, they are one of the more dangerous types as related to the whole group of beta males. I mean, yes, you have your extreme as related to your mass shooters out here, but this is a different type of beta male. And what makes them dangerous is, again, they go out here and use their penis as a weapon, and they participate in sexual deviancy. And when they participate in their sexual deviancy and express their and participate in their sexual fetishes, they put other people at risk, because many of these men, once they participate in their sexual deviancy, they want to keep that secret. So they will go out here and murder women and murder little girls. And again, this is what makes these men extremely sick. It makes them extremely depraved. And most men and women out here, you have to be vigilant as related to beta males like this, because many of these men are insidious. Many of these men are very, very, again, they can fly under the radar, and you won't know how sick they are until they start to express themselves. And again, they always wait for you to get in private to go out here and participate in their sexual deviancy. But their sexual deviancy comes from the dysfunctional way they have been raised, and that's what makes these men in crisis some of the most dangerous you'll ever encounter. Now, if you want to learn more about beta males and why they are dangerous and why they are a real problem to America's society, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also pick it up on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more men's issues videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.